Chapter 6 Fundamental Rights. Time to warm up. No one gives us a chance to speak. Why don't these people understand? Time to know. The fundamental rights in Indian Constitution acts as a guarantee that all Indian citizens can and will live their lives in peace as long as they live in Indian democracy. They include individual rights common to most liberal democracies such as equality before the law, freedom to speech and expression, freedom of association and peaceful assembly, freedom of religion, and the right to constitutional remedies for the protection of civil right. A fundamental right adopted on 26 November in the year 1949 but was put in use on 26th of January 1950. Fundamental rights constitute the backbone of the nation. Fact finder. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, popularly known as Baba Saheb Ambedkar, was one of the architects of the Indian Constitution. The fundamental rights of India are the natural rights of every citizen that can be described as below: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. Right to equality. Right to equality means equality before law, ruling out any prejudice on the basis of race, religion, caste, creed, gender, or place of birth. This right also means an equality of opportunity with respect to employment, abolition of untouchability, and also abolition of titles. Right to freedom. Right to freedom includes a gamut of rights such as right to speech and expression, right to assemble peacefully or to form association, right to move freely throughout the territory of India, right to life and liberty, right to reside and settle in any part of India, and so on. Right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion is another important fundamental right that explains the essence of freedom of conscience and profession, freedom to run religious affairs, and freedom to give religious instructions in certain institutions. Right against exploitation. Right against exploitation talks about the banning of forced labor and prohibition of employment of children in perilous jobs. Prohibition of employment of children in perilous jobs. Cultural and educational rights. This constitution explains the preservation of language and culture of minorities and rights of minorities to establish educational institutions. Right to constitutional remedies. Right to constitutional remedies. This right also lays down the privileges in respect of the National Commission of Minorities. Right to constitutional remedies. This right also lays down the privileges in respect of the National Commission on Minorities, the National Commission on Women, the National Commission on Scheduled Caste, etc. Features and characteristics of fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are not absolute. They are subject to reasonable restrictions. They strike a balance between individual liberty and social security. But the reasonable restrictions are subject to judicial review. All fundamental rights can be suspended except the fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 20 and 21. Right to freedom is automatically suspended during emergency. Some of the fundamental rights are for the Indian citizen only, but some of the fundamental rights can be enjoyed both citizens and aliens. Fundamental rights can be amended, but they cannot be abrogated. The abrogation of fundamental rights will violate the basic structure of the Constitution. The fundamental rights are both positive and negative. The negative rights prevent the state from doing certain things. Article 15 prevents the state from making discrimination. Some fundamental rights are available against the state. Some rights are available against the individuals. The fundamental rights are justifiable. A citizen may approach the court of law when his fundamental rights are violated. Some fundamental rights may not be available to personnel serving in the defense forces. They cannot enjoy all the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are social and political in character. No economic rights have been guaranteed to the citizens of India, although without them, the other rights are of little or no significance.